The top stories: Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed meets with Vice President of South Sudan, Benjamin Bol Mel. And Farm Africa unveils climate resilience project in Ethiopia's Afar and Oromia regions. Hello and welcome to BBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. With the news, I'm Tabitha John. Do stay with us. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed received Vice President of South Sudan, Benjamin Bol Mel, at his office today. The Ethiopian Premier said in a social media post. On the occasion, Abiy received a message from President Salva Kiir Mayardit of South Sudan. During their discussion with Vice President Benjamin Bol Mel, Prime Minister Abiy emphasized the importance of an inclusive regional approach to address the current security and political challenges facing South Sudan. Prime Minister Abiy has emphasized that Ethiopia remains committed and will continue to extend its steadfast support to the brotherly people of South Sudan. A high-level Ethiopian delegation headed by the Chief Speaker of the Federal House of Federation, Aganyao Teshagir, is participating in the 150th Assembly of Interparliamentary Union being held on 5th to 9th April in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Speaker of Ethiopia's House of Federation, Aganyao Teshagir, has called for enhanced international cooperation and stronger parliamentary action to achieve the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) during his address at the 150th Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union (IPU) currently underway in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Aganyao outlined Ethiopia's 10-year national development plan, which aligns with both the 2030 SDGs and the African Union's Agenda 2063. He pointed to progress made in poverty reduction, universal health coverage, education, and access to clean energy. He also mentioned the country's Green Legacy Initiative, which has seen the planting of 40 billion seedlings to combat climate change and promote food security. He emphasized the role of Ethiopia's parliament in supporting pro-poor policies through increased budget allocations, ratification of investment and employment promoting agreements, and resource distribution through the House of Federation to enhance regional infrastructure and basic services. The 2025 Addis Ababa Tamrit National Movement Expo, which aims to address the challenges facing the manufacturing industry sector, has officially commenced at the newly inaugurated Addis International Convention Center, themed From Consumerism to Manufacturing, will be held from April 7th to 11th, 2025. The expo featured more than 200 different manufacturing industries presenting their products and services. Minister of Industry Melakwa Lebel has stressed on the occasion that the government is working diligently to realize Ethiopia's prosperity. Addis Ababa City Administration Mayor Adanet Chabebe, for her part, has reiterated that manufacturing is one of the sectors that the administration has given priority to, adding that efforts are being made to address the challenges of the sector and make the city an industrial hub. The official inaugural ceremony was attended by Addis Ababa City Mayor Adanet Chabebe, Minister of Industry Melakwa Lebel, and other senior officials of the administration and invited guests as well. Welcome back. Ethiopia is ramping up efforts to combat climate-induced shocks by integrating gender-responsive approaches into its climate resilience projects. Women in pastoralist areas, however, remain highly vulnerable due to socioeconomic and cultural challenges. To address this, a 2.5-year project has been launched in the Afar and Oromia regions in collaboration with partners to empower women and strengthen their resilience to climate change. Goshu Melissa reports.
Ethiopia is undertaking a comprehensive initiative to build climate resilience and foster green development as part of its broader efforts to address the growing challenges of climate-induced shocks. However, the global threat of climate change continues to take its toll on communities across the country, particularly in pastoralist and semi-pastoralist regions, where women and girls are often disproportionately affected due to existing social and economic vulnerabilities. In response, Farm Africa has launched Gender Transformation and Climate Resilience Project in the Afar and Oromia regional states with support from the African Development Bank through the African Climate Change Fund in collaboration with Union of Ethiopian Children and Women Association and PHE Ethiopia Consortium. Speaking to EBC Show with Emmanuel, country director of Farm Africa Ethiopia, said the program is specifically designed to address the intertwined challenges of climate change and gender inequality in semi-pastoralist communities. The project aims to strengthen climate resilience while addressing gender inequality and narrowing the gender gap within these vulnerable populations, she noted.
We recently launched this climate resilience through gender equality project, which tries to focus on semi-pastoralist community and helping them become climate resilient, as well as address the gender inequality and gender gap that is faced within that community. In terms of addressing not only the kind of the challenges, the social and cultural norms that is holding them back, but also kind of reduce the gender gap that exists within those 3 districts of the 2 regions.
Jonas Mutuku, program coordinator at Union of Ethiopian Children and Women Association, said the intervention will empower women through capacity building, resource access, and active participation in climate-smart agriculture.
After enhancing the women participation in climate agenda and just try to aware how women are just have a strong role in adapting climate change, so that we'll try to address both gender and the climate issues. When we say climate resilient, we try to build the adaptive capacity of women by engaging them in different activities like there may be irrigation. We may just help them to just practice climate smart agriculture. There may be just support to have improved seeds, so that will support different mechanisms so that women will try to adapt climate change. We'll try to just bring the 2 things. The first thing is gender equality, the other thing climate resilience. So that we'll try to just make women to be part of the climate resilient activity. To bring this thing, I think first we have to just build their capacity, convince the communities so that women can easily participate in climate resilient activities.
From water access to sustainable livelihoods, the program is investing on participatory rangeland management and introducing improved livestock breeds and forage systems. Women are also being supported to take leadership roles in local cooperatives.
We design interventions that specifically address these root causes in terms of social-cultural barriers, and we empower them through designing economic empowerment interventions. For example, in the pastoralist areas, there are local resources that the women would have been benefited equally as that of men. The pasture, the livestock are the main income sources for the pastoralists. So women need to be engaged in a form of cooperative like participatory rangeland management cooperative. So we established these PRM cooperatives in the pastoralist areas. So within these PRM cooperatives, we encourage women to be members of these PRM cooperatives.
Running for 2.5 years, the project directly benefits over 37,000 people and indirectly reaches 180,000, of which 70% are women. According to Farm Africa, after evaluating the lessons learned from the initial areas, the project will be replicated in other pastoralist communities across Ethiopia.
The Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, and International Livestock Research Institute experts say East Africa's escalating food insecurity, fueled by climate change, is in need of innovative climate-smart solutions. Speaking to the Ethiopian news agency Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, Food System Resilience Project Coordinator Sanait Ragasa stated that climate change and variability is the #1 challenge, not only drought, but also floods that disrupt food production. Dawit Solomon, Regional Coordinator at the International Livestock Research Institute, ILRI, similarly expressed that collaboration among governments, the private sector, NGOs, and research centers is crucial to develop environmentally safe and sustainable irrigation systems. Jerusalem Betsaha has more from the Ethiopian news agency.
Intergovernmental Authority on Development IGAD Food System Resilience Project Coordinator Sanait Ragasa told Ethiopian news agency that the IGAD region is prone to food insecurity and requires innovative climate-smart solution. According to Sanait, the #1 challenge for the region's food security is climate change and variability that disrupts food production both for the farming and pastoralist communities. She added this is on the top of other socioeconomic challenges such as price shocks and other conflicts in parts of the region.
Member states of IGAD are making effort to rise up to this challenge, and I think I can mention Ethiopia as one of them for being one of the major food producers in the region, and also trying different approach, thinking out of the box and producing food in areas where normally we were not producing, using irrigation. I think that's one of the commendable things.
Dawit Solomon, Regional Coordinator at the International Livestock Research Institute, ILRI, similarly expressed his concern about the impact of climate change on agriculture, highlighting the importance of accessible climate information service and climate-smart agriculture technologies for smallholder farmers. He also cited the challenges of rain-fed subsistence agriculture in East Africa and the importance of sustainable irrigation systems.
What we need to do is we need to do it in an environmentally safe and sustainable manner. But the current initiatives, which are really burgeoning, are good. But let's make sure that they are also done in an environmentally safe manner. But that's the only way. We are water scarce. Water is a scarce resource. You know the challenge that we have around, extreme events, droughts, heat stress, and all that. So having a sustainable irrigation system is a way to go.
Solomon also stressed the need for data-driven decision-making in agriculture, emphasizing the role of integrated national data hubs in the country.
The 3-day Pan-African Youth Leadership Forum, which took place in Addis Ababa, has played a huge role in serving young African leaders as a platform for exchanging ideas, the participants disclosed. According to the participants of the forum, the youth of Africa possess the potential and ability to transform the continent into a more desirable and improved place for individuals to live and thrive. The Kenyan participant, Libna Lassi, told Ethiopian news agency that the future of Africa is intrinsically linked to the aspirations and contributions of the youth demographic, which is 70% of the continent's population. Listen to her.
Need to be included in today's policy making, and also another thing is to get more resources and funding from the governments and from organizations. That is the most important thing that we need, is funding, inclusivity, and it's very commendable that the youth are being included now. I recommend a collaboration with other African nations. I think it's very important. Instead of working against each other, we need to work with each other. It is really important because when we have a united and a collaborative efforts out there, so many things could be done, so many changes could be made. So, and we need to work together and not against each other.
Leading the Mandela Foundation, CEO Liaquat Ali Azam emphasized the importance of education and good health, as well as job creation skills for the future development and leadership of African youth. The CEO pointed out the critical importance of unity and collaboration among African nations, highlighting the necessity of actively listening to one another in order to collaboratively develop effective solutions to their shared challenges. Listen to this.
We have a lot of solutions. We are trying to get, we call it African solutions, African problems with African solutions. So meaning, we are not trying to borrow solutions from somewhere. We are trying to understand our own African problem. So when we gather like this, we bring our own solutions that can help the youth to do what? To at least, to thrive. This is all what we want. Now the role of youth, because we are the change agent. Youth have the power to champion any development. I can take you an example. Ethiopia is rapidly developing because the Prime Minister himself is still in our category. So you can see the power that he has. That makes this country now becoming so much very beautiful that at the end of the day, every African nation will want to become like Addis. So the youth have the power. So we are here, we are gathered here to discuss our own values, our own principles as African, and then to see how youth can be involved in political spaces, innovative activities.
The youth participants expressed their belief that solutions originating from within Africa, crafted by its people and informed by their unique experiences and contexts, are more likely to be effective and sustainable in addressing the pressing problems of the youth. And here's a reminder of the top stories this hour. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed meets with Vice President of South Sudan, Benjamin Bol Mel. And Farm Africa unveils climate resilience project in Ethiopia's Afar and Oromia regions. That's all we had for now. I'm Tabitha John. Many thanks for watching. Goodbye for now and do take care.